In this video, we will review how to add clients. If the client module does not appear on the list, activate the client module by going to the Settings menu and clicking on Apps Manager. Then activate the client module and click on Save. You can click on Add a new client from the list here, or through Manage Clients and click on New Client. You can also import a previously created client list from a CSV file, but we will explain the import method in another video. After clicking on New Client, enter the client data. You can control the fields listed here by adding more or disabling any of them from the Client Settings page. At the bottom, the additional fields created manually appear, and we will explain how to create them in another video. Choose the client type, and we will notice the appearance of the tax number field if we choose a business client. Enter the client data and make sure to fill in the fields marked with an asterisk. You can add more contact lists by clicking on Add. The system automatically generates the code number in a serial form, but you can add it manually as you need. The system also allows you to modify the numbering settings, and we will explain this in another video. The invoicing method represents the method of issuing default sales invoices to the client. As we notice, the client's email address must be added when choosing to send by mail. You can easily add an opening balance for the client without the need to add all of the client's previous transactions. The system allows you to choose a default currency for each client independently, but you can still choose another currency when creating invoices. You can include the client file under a specific category or create a new category by writing the category name. You can write notes or insert attachments to the client file. Choose the price group for the client, or you can choose it later after adding the price group. After you finish entering the data, click on Save. The client profile page provides you with the ease of performing many procedures: modifying the client's data, adding a note or attachment, arranging an appointment to discuss estimates, for example, creating an invoice or creating an estimate, as well as creating a credit note, viewing the client's account statement, and also adding a payment credit, and more procedures by clicking on More Options and choosing from the drop-down list the option to log in as a client. Here, it allows you to log in and designate the system interface as your client after granting him access to the system. You can temporarily suspend the client's account by clicking on Suspend. Thus, it temporarily prevents the creation of any invoices to this client. To delete a client profile, it must not be linked to any transactions recorded in the system. You can assign a staff to be responsible for following up with the client. When you click on Clone, a matching client profile will be created with editing permissions and will be saved independently. When adding contact information such as phone number and email, the option to send the invoice to the mail or via SMS will appear in the client's profile. You can easily go to the client's ledger account in the chart of accounts by clicking on the number at the top of client's profile. As we explain here, the Manage Clients page displays the client's profiles that have been added. By clicking on the three-dot menu for any profile, you can view it by clicking on View, Edit, or Clone to create an identical profile, quickly edit, delete it, as well as enter the system as a client. And finally, view the client's account statement. You can rearrange the client profile on the page in the way you prefer by clicking on Sort By, and also search for any profile easily through the different search options, and more by clicking on Advanced Search. You can perform an action on the added client profile by clicking on the checkbox at the top, and then clicking on the Actions menu, or by selecting a specific profile, by clicking on the checkbox for each profile, and then clicking on the Action menu. You can easily go to the General Settings page by clicking on the Settings icon at the top, and also by clicking on Client Settings from the Client menu and then clicking on General.